Hi, Uprisers. We're starting this. This is take two. We have Dak Brown that is coming on, and he is going to be talking about truth. It is in your bones. So while we're waiting everybody to jump on, sometimes with these videos, if there's a glitch on Facebook, the person who I'm interviewing can't jump on. So hopefully this will work this time. I think this will work this time. So anyways, it's great to have everybody here today. I'm so grateful. Hey, we did it this time. Yay!
It happened.
Yes.
Easily this time.
Yes. So
so whenever it doesn't, it freaks me out because I'm like, I'm doing everything that I did the last time.
Yeah, so, I know, but we all have the issue. It's just, it's, in fact, I just called my show producer. She couldn't even get on. So,
wow.
Yeah, so there was just a glitch going on. So I wanted to quickly make a note. Again, everybody, we are having our Sacred Uprising retreat. And it is going to be right outside of Santa Cruz, California in Watsonville at Mount Madonna. It is September 18th, 19th, and 20th. To go ahead and buy tickets, look at tickets, learn a little bit about the conference, go to sacreduprising.com. I did want to mention we have many different levels of tickets. From private rooms, which are the most expensive, private rooms and private bathrooms, to a dormitory environment, which is much less expensive. And then we even have live streaming of the sessions. So there is something that everybody can take advantage of. We're going to have our wisdom keepers there, like Dak and Bliss and Lori, just to name a few. So please don't miss out on our upcoming retreat. In addition to that, we have a full schedule this week. We have Dak today, which I always look forward to Mondays when Dak is talking. Tomorrow we have Courtney Walsh, she's our author of Dear Human, and she is going to be talking about renegades and revolutionaries. Hey, Leanne. And then we also have Lori Green. She will be tomorrow as well, and she is going to be talking about expanding into one. And then on Thursday, we have Dr. Lisa, and she is going to be talking about living your truth, which is awesome because Dak is talking about truth is in your bones. And then on Thursday, I will be continuing my series of Calling in the One. So glad everybody's here. We've got quite a few people watching. So Dak, let's jump into it. Truth Absolutely. Is in your bones.
It's in your bones. It is in your bones. Where this topic came from, because you guys asked us weeks ago to submit 5 things that we want to talk about.
Right.
And I couldn't figure out what my 5 things were. And then I got this kind of download, what that's kind of like.
Yes, I do. Right.
And I got a list of 5 things that I wanted to discuss. But over the weeks of time, that's when this has been unpacking, kind of as I say. And so when we get to this topic about truth being in your bones, this is my journey. So I say this, and I don't say this like this is the rule for everyone, but this is what I've come to know on my journey.
Right.
There are many people that believe, and I believe as well, that we start off in oneness. We start off in connection with the all, with God, with any term that we want to call that force that is separate from us in a sense, but still a part. We're very much connected to that.
That's
As
correct,
we say, we are we are all I ams in the great I am.
Yes,
we are all sparks from that one divine flame. And so we emanate and we come from oneness. And so when I talk about truth being in your bones, I'm talking about that sense of knowing that, again, connection to the all. And when you know that, when you encounter truth, when you encounter truth in religion, when you encounter truth in religious texts, when you encounter truth in a person, when you encounter it in a situation, how you know it's truth is by the way that you feel, by the way that it resonates on the inside. But you've got to know that it starts off there.
Right.
And that's your point of reference, is the truth on the inside. Now, if we look at the Bible and the evolution, I call it, of consciousness, it's the evolution of consciousness, even personally, that I went through. There was a time when I was a little boy, and you were young as well, that we forget about the connection. Right. We forget about being one and connected with God. And so the process of coming to our truth is a process of rising and remembering that connection that we come from.
Right.
And so that's what I have discovered, that when I looked at the Old Testament with all of its laws and its rules and all the different archetypes and patterns there, it was very much so a truth that was outside of myself. And then when I get to Christ consciousness, what we enjoy now, is after the world was made flesh, the word was made flesh, pardon me, and dwelt among us.
Mm-hmm.
And then ultimately, when you get all the Christ principles, you see that what Paul even pointed to was that the Christ is in us,
Right.
the hope of glory. Once again, pointing to the inward work of truth. Now, truth has always been in us.
Right.
But in our consciousness, in our awareness as individuals, even in our awareness as humanity, if you look at during the darkest ages of humanity, our lifespans were much shorter.
Right. Yes.
We were not making intelligent decisions. We didn't know what we did know in our original magnificence of being connected to God. When I talk about our original magnificence, I'm talking about the days of perhaps back in the Egyptian times, or even further back to the times of Atlantis, when there were different ways and systems and kingdoms on this planet of Earth. But we sunk below our magnificence, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And we got into some really, really, really dark times as we bought into the illusion of separation. And with that separation, that illusion, came darkness.
Right.
And it came ignorance. And it came bad decisions. And it came all the stuff that comes with living the illusion of separation. Do you know what I'm talking about,
I do.
Trisha?
Yeah, I absolutely do. You know, while you're talking, there's something that came to me is that we think that truth is separate from us, just like we think love is separate from us. It isn't.
Right.
It's in our bones. It's in our DNA. It's what we are. And when we don't live our truth, when we are, and if what's in the inner is not on the outer, then we
Right.
start building a new paradigm based on what isn't our truth, on a lie, on a facade of
Illusion.
who we are,
Exactly.
an illusion, right? Illusion who we are. And then we go off on this all different paradigm that is not who we are. And when we want to get back to oneness, it's finding your truth again, saying, no, I'm building a whole new paradigm on truth, on love. It's like when you're in love, the whole thing is you're in it. You're in it. The flow, right. It's like a flow around you. It's in you. It's in your being. It's who you are. It's what you're made of. It is the universe. And so when you say you're in love, it's because you're flowing within it. But it's not separate right. from you. None of this is separate from us.
It is not. Looking at the principles as above and so below, looking at how the all, or how God created everything from a simple acorn. An acorn, its essence, its power source is not outside of it. You don't teach an acorn how to bear infinite amount of force. That truth is encoded in the essence of who the acorn is. And so even when it comes to you and I, as humanity, as individuals, our essence, we come here with it.
Yes.
It's in our bones.
Yes.
It's in our DNA. I say bones, but for some people it resonates heart truth, or it resonates in different places. Wherever it resonates, it's in you. When we look at the Old Testament prophets like Ezekiel, when it talk about what would happen in this day of Aquarius, where the knowledge of the glory of God floods the earth like the water covers the seas, it was talking about, and the language in the Old Testament can be misleading because it says, I will take out the stony heart and put within you the heart of flesh. But what they were using there, that definition of a stony heart, is a calloused heart, a heart that is insensitive, a heart that can't feel, it can't be compassionate, it can't be empathetic. And so it was talking about, I'm removing all of the hardness and allowing your heart to feel again. The sensitivity has always been there. The spirit of truth has always been on the inside, but some of the stuff that we've gone through in our religious systems, in our personal misinterpretation of life, have caused our heart to be calloused and desensitized. And so what that passage was pointing to, and this day that we're living in, is that truth is on the inside of us. That's when Jesus said that the kingdom of God is in you. Once again, he's pointing to that inward reality where truth and spirit and God resides. And so that's what I'm talking about in essence when I talk about truth being in your bones. I can tell you now, when I look back at my story, that there's some parts of my story that, because truth, it feels like to me, truth has, there's a relative truth based on where you are. when I was brought up Baptist and understood as a Baptist, there were some things that I held true as a Baptist.
Right.
That later on, when I was spirit-filled, bought into to that, which was Pentecostalism and speaking in tongues. And we look back, some Pentecostals even now look back on the Baptists thinking they don't know the full truth. But then I look back on my Pentecostal experience now as I am more conscious. And there was a level of truth that I held on to back then that now is like, there's another level, even more of truth, and we spiral actually higher in our understanding of what the truth is. And so there is a relative truth that walks you through on the way out, but then also there are some ultimate truths that I've come to now, the truths that I can't be separate from them anymore. It's like once you know these truths, there's no turning back. For me, so that ultimate truth is what we talk about, connection with God.
Right.
That I am one with God. Another ultimate truth that I know that I stand on, that no one can convince me otherwise, is that God, the all, is good, and God is for me, and things are working for my good. So this truth is benevolent, and it leads me into further truth, and to the best for my life. As I follow this truth, it doesn't lead me to things that are detrimental. It leads me to things that are for my benefit, because this truth is ultimately good. So that's an ultimate truth that I stand on. Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. As I've gone through my spiritual path as well, Dak, is that they give you like, it's like feeding a baby. You give the baby only what it can handle that at the time, what it can digest. And so it is with our spiritual life. They will give me, as we go through the spiral, they'll give me a certain amount of information. Once I anchor it in, and once I know it and I live it, then they take me to the next level of truth and the next level of truth. And 4 years ago, where I am with what truth is to me, I would have never been able to handle it because it would have been way too much for me. But with every level of our life is a new level of truth. And once you can anchor it in and live it, and it become part of your who you are, then they will give you more truth. Then the graciousness of God gives you even more and more of what his truth is. And I think that, God is so great. Harold Kushner is a rabbi who writes books on spirituality. One of the things he says is that so too often, like with whether it's religion or just in our everyday life, we want to put God in this box of what he is. But God is so vast, so great, and so vast. He is everything. He is the air you breathe. He's everything that you see. You can't put him in a box. So everything that you think is impossible with God is possible, because he is the great I am. He is everything.
Right. And so that I definitely think that truth, and I feel that truth evolves as you evolve.
Exactly.
I made a statement years back that God evolves as your understanding evolves as well, because truth has an intelligence to it. And even if you look at in the natural, if you look at the time of human gestation, from that being that single cell organism to growing into that body at the end of 9 months, we pass through billions of years of human evolution. Like from being a tadpole-like thing and to being a human body. The human body naturally mimics the process of even the growth and the pattern of what we know now. That truth is intelligent. That truth is always evolving forward. And the next level of our evolution, we're responsible for it through one conscious decision at a time. And so, truth is in our bones. Truth is in our essence. Truth is encoded in our being. And when we come across situations that are truth, people that are truth, we feel resonance.
Yes.
And the reason why we feel resonance, again, because the point of reference for that truth is on the inside of us. I'm worried for anything that is external that says, I have the truth and no one else has it, or everybody should come to my truth this direction, because I don't believe in dictating people. I believe in empowering people and pointing people back to themselves. They say the best teachers do that. They tell you where to look, but they don't tell you what to see. And so the pointing to the inward witness, telling people to refer back to their heart, listen to the truth on the inside, be guided, be directed in your relationships, in your actions, by that inward witness, as I say. That's the ultimate things that we can do for people. And we can entrust them to themselves.
Right. Right.
We can
Yes.
entrust people to themselves, guide
Yeah.
them back to themselves, and trust that divine part of them to lead them to where they need to go.
Right.
So that truth is in your bones thing, that is all I'm trying to reiterate and to say over and over and over again, that's your point of reference. When I hear a psychic, or when I hear a prophet, or when somebody gives me a word externally, if it doesn't bear witness to something on the inside of me, then it's not my word.
Right.
Because
Right.
truth is in my bones.
Right.
And my amen has to start here first. Before, I'm not going to let somebody tell me and lead me in a whole direction that doesn't bear resonance with what I'm feeling on the inside. And again, here's another thing about truth. What resonates with me and where I am could resonate differently with you and where you are.
Right.
Because truth also has this very personal sort of guidance to it. That spirit of truth is a very personal thing. And so once again, the kingdom is on the inside, and it's personal for every individual. So yeah,
Right.
Truth is in your bones. And
It's
that's all
in
I
your
have to
bones.
share with you.
I love that. Thank you so much. I mean, truth is in your bones. I love everything that you said about it. And, you know, one thing that I'll just add is that if we could all understand that we are all part of the body of the Creator, we are all part of it. And just because something is one person's truth doesn't mean it has to be yours. If you follow your inner guidance, follow your gut, follow that, it will never lead you wrong, because then you're building the paradigm that is for you. So Thank you so much for that, Dak.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you,
right,
man.
everyone. So go to if you want to learn more about Dak, go to sacreduprising.com. We have information about Dak on there. I believe that we have ways for you to contact him as well. Or if you want to reach out to any of our wisdom keepers that we have here on Sacred Uprising, you can go to our website. So Dak, thank you so much. We will be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time with Courtney Walsh once again, and she will be talking about renegades and revolutionaries. So if you want to have a great time and listen to 30 minutes of her just going to town and her powerhouse, stay tuned for that for tomorrow. Dak, thank you so much. And I can't wait till a week from Monday to hear from you again.
Yes.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.